What up, world? It's Eternal Authenticity, broadcasting live. Sky Blackwell, Eternal Authenticity, broadcasting live. Click the like button, like this video. Click the like button, like this video. And yes, today I'm doing a sunny message. I'm recording this video on a Monday. And yes, I'm feeling great. I'm vibing. I'm sunbathing. I'm charging up in the sunshine. I'm out here with all the birds and the squirrels. There's a lot of flies and mosquitoes and whatnot out here. But yes, one step after another, step by step, one foot before the other. One left foot, right foot, one foot before the other. Step by step. That's my message I'm talking about today. Step by step, step by step. On our path with God, on our journey with God, with the Creator in life, this marathon is a step-by-step life journey experience. It's not just all quick overnight, you know what I mean? We have to be patient, and that's just the ongoing theme of life is patience, respect, trust in the process, surrendering to the Most High Creator, and that's my message. A lot of people, they may be rushing around, especially on a Monday morning, rushing to work, rushing to school. I know school's back in session. So many people are rushing to class. People are rushing to a job, rushing to work, rushing different places, rushing to go get food. People are rushing to just hang out and, whatever, do nothing. Some people are rushing to take care of their family. People are doing different types of rushing. A lot of people are disconnected mentally. Mentally, many people are neurotic. There's a lot of neurological disorders. There's a lot of neurological disorders, a lot of brain problems. Yeah, as this noisy airplane flies over. There's a lot of neurological disorders, brain problems, mental health issues, mental health problems, going on in the world, especially in America, where people have a lot of anxiety, a lot of anxiousness, like I said, a lot of mental health issues, mental health disorders, neurological problems, with their brain being imbalanced, out of balance. And a big part of how we can get into alignment is when we just take life step by step, day by day, step by step. So to walk, to run is one foot after the other. We're not animals, we're not robots. This is how God designed us. Yes, we can run, we can walk faster, we can skip, we can jump. But for the long term, it's always going to be one step after the other, one step after the other. And it's not about trying to force stuff. It's not about rushing things. It's not about forcing stuff. Yes, have passion. Have excitement, have passion, have excitement, have enthusiasm for life. Have a plan, and follow God's will. Surrender to God's timing. That's really the best way to break it down. We go step by step is when we surrender to God's will for our life, knowing that we're all children of God. We're vessels that have been created by the Most High. So we have to go step by step. We have a specific, divine, unique, authentic life purpose, life mission, different callings from God, higher callings. And we have to figure ourselves out, by allowing God to speak to us, allowing the Creator to reveal things and unravel things for us, for our purpose, for our mission, for our journey. What are we here to do? You know what I mean? And how are we going to get stuff done? You know what I mean? What is our mentality? What is our energy like? What is our mind like? What is our spirit like? What is our character like? You know, are we trying to compete with other people? Are we trying to compare and compete and keep up with the Joneses? Or are we going to stay in our own lane, stay in our own league, mind our own business, and just go step by step? You know, slow and steady wins the race. Like the turtle and the rabbit, the turtle and the hare. You know, the turtle wins because the turtle was patient, and the turtle took its time, and the turtle was consistent with making progressive movement. It wasn't out here just trying to do a quick sprint and then they just get tired and just want to take a nap, and then they realize they just wasted a lot of time. You know, now they're far behind, you know. But when we go step by step, that's holding ourselves accountable. Like, hey, you know, maybe I ran 1 mile today. That's just an example. I can run further than 1 mile, but I'm just using that as an example for anybody that's out there. Let's say you ran 1 mile and you're like, man, I want to run 3 miles next, but today I only had 1 mile in me. You know, cool, step by step. The next day, show up. Maybe you do 2 miles or you do 3 miles the next day. But, you know, if you could only do 1 mile and you really pushed yourself, you really did your best, then just go step by step. You know, you don't have to be, you know, so paranoid about, you know, showing up again. You know, you'll show up better. You know, same thing for running businesses, or you want to develop a relationship or work on businesses or your studies, or, you know, you want to get these tools and resources. Maybe like for me, I was getting different herbs for herbal detox teas, you know, getting different fruits, alkaline vegetables, you know, some real exotic, you know, premium nourishment, natural remedies. You know what I'm saying? I had to go step by step with that process. For me as a healer, I'm a 9-year alkaline vegan, highly alkaline vegan, plant-based. I'm an herbalist, I'm a healer, I'm a wellness coach, I'm a nutritionist, I'm a transformation master, I'm a leader. So it's always going to be a process, you know, of waiting and working. And I was excited when I, you know, started researching and discovering different herbs and remedy methods and cool different tricks and tips and facts so I can benefit my health and become healthier and lose weight. And I couldn't do it all at once. You know, I couldn't just get everything done all in one hour. You know, like it's studies, you know, it's a learning process, it's an experience, it's a voyage, it's an expedition. You know, just like if you're playing basketball, somebody that's real good in the NBA, you know, someone like Michael Jordan or any other good example of, you know, football player, tennis, soccer, whatever. It took years of repetition, step by step. You know, they couldn't just be like, hey, you know, I'm 18 years old. You know, I'm number one. You know, I have it all figured out. I've won all the championships. I'm ready to retire at 18. No, it's step by step. You got to go through your first season as a rookie in the NBA. You got to go through that process of being drafted, of going to the summer camps, the workouts, the preseason, the off season, you know, going through the playoffs, going through, you know, ups and downs with the team and even with your family, you know, and just go through that whole development cycle, you know, building up the years, scoring points, you know, making shots, free throws, assists, rebounds, you know, and just, you know, building connections, you know what I'm saying, with other people that support you and they're happy for you, you know, and it's just like a step-by-step lifelong journey, honestly. You know, then you get into the Hall of Fame after you did your time. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's just put into the Hall of Fame, you know, before they even started. You know what I mean? Yeah, you may have potential to get there one day, but you have to go through that step-by-step journey. There's no cheating the process. There's no cheating life. You know what I'm saying? The experience, you know what I mean, that you gain. You might have played basketball for, you know, 18 years or 20 years. Then you're on your way to the Hall of Fame. Then you're in a different period in your life. You're in a different time frame, a different timeline in your life that, now you're older, you have grandchildren, you've been married for a long time, about to have great grandchildren, you're coaching younger students, people who were where you were many years ago. You're able to mentor people who are younger, who, are aspiring to, grow in a positive way, so it's all a step-by-step process. I was just using basketball as an example. Basketball is a cool sport. I like basketball. It's one of my top sports favorites. And that's just a great example, like with life. Same thing if you play the piano and you have different songs, you're publishing your music, you want to have different gigs, you want to play at the mall, or you want to play, in a band, or you want to play, at these different venues, different concert settings, arenas, and you want to do it big. You want to be on billboards, you want to win a Grammy award for being a piano player, a pianist, or whatever instrument, saxophone, violin, whatever. This is just more examples. But the point is, you got to do that step-by-step journey of, hey, learning how to play the piano, learning how to memorize music, writing your own music, studying from different great piano artists, and then producing your music, getting, being able to perform for an audience, the music, your piano songs. And it's just a journey. It's a voyage, with all these different processes, so we have to remind ourselves step by step. That's how life is, patience is key. Slow and steady wins the race. And always keep God first. God holds us accountable to say, hey, we're not all big and bad. We're not all tough. We're not all, Mr. or Mrs. Know-it-all. You know what I'm saying? We got to go step by step and develop and, surrender to our timing for life, that God has for us. So that's just a simple reminder for everybody. Step by step, live your life. That's the process. Patience. So thank y'all for listening. I'm wrapping up the message. Sky Blackwell, Eternal Authenticity. Make sure you click the like button, like this video, subscribe. And you can follow me on Instagram. Message me on Instagram. Send me positive vibes at Eternal Authenticity, at Eternal Authenticity. Also, you can order my 2 new ebooks on Amazon Kindle. Supreme Healing Wisdom, Alkaline Healing Herbs for Success. These 2 ebooks I got on Amazon Kindle. The links are below in this YouTube video description. Sky Blackwell. The ebooks, I'm giving you accountability knowledge. I'm holding you accountable with the proper nutrition, diet wisdom, to clean up your diet, purify your body, lose weight. And I'm helping to flush out the toxins from your body. I'm helping you to flush out the mucus with the correct alkaline recipes, the high pH level fruits and vegetables, and I'm giving you the knowledge about the different herbs, alkaline detoxification herbs that you can make tea to seriously live a higher quality of life and heal yourself. So order my 2 new ebooks on Amazon Kindle. The links are below in this YouTube video description. Also, you can schedule and book a consultation with me. Schedule a detox, nutrition, and wellness consultation with me. I will coach you. I will counsel you. I will consult you. I will advise you in your health and wellness journey so you can lose weight and live a higher quality of life. So the links are below in this YouTube video description to schedule a consultation, to order my ebooks. Also, you can support my podcasts and enjoy my music. I have music and I have podcasts on Spotify and on Apple Music, and I'm on other music platforms. But yes, support my podcast and music. The links are below in this YouTube video description. Also, you can check out my merchandise, shop with my clothing, purchase my clothing, my shirts, my merchandise. The links are below in this YouTube video description to purchase from my store. And finally, also send me the cash, send me the money, send me the finances, support me. Send me the Cash App, the PayPal, the Venmo. The links are below in this YouTube video description. I'm happy to serve you. I'm happy to inspire you. I'm open to receiving the best. And yes, I Thank you for helping me so I'm able to take care of my family better and I'm able to serve the world in a better way. So Sky Blackwell, Eternal Authenticity. Again, all the links are below in this YouTube video description. Click the like button, like this video, subscribe, and yes, step by step, day by day, be patient, trust God's timing. It's Eternal Authenticity, broadcasting live. Peace.